Brockton, and they make beautiful music together. They're going to sing for you this evening Tennessee Blues, The Words Get in the Way, and Your Love in Arms. Bill and Cheryl Reedy.
If I had my way, I'd leave here today. I'd leave in a hurry. I'd find me a place where I could stay and not have to worry. A place I'd feel loose, a place I could lose these Tennessee blues. Find me a spot, some mountain top with no one around me. Valleys and streams, birds in the trees, lakes that surround me. A place that feels loose, a place I could lose these Tennessee blues. A place to forget all my regrets and keep just the good times. A place I could sleep, nothing but peace, free as the sunshine. A place I'd feel loose, a place I could lose these Tennessee blues.
Thank you. Thank you. It's going to take me a few seconds to get this cable on. Normally the professional people will say witty things while they're doing this, but I'm not professional, so I'm not going to say witty things.
I realize you're seeing someone new. I don't believe she knows you like I do. Your temperamental, moody side, the one you always try to hide from me. But I know when you've got something on your mind. You've been trying to tell me for the longest time. But before you break my heart in two, there's something I've been trying to say to you. But the words get in the way. There's so much I want to say, but it's locked deep inside. And if you look in my eyes, we might fall in love again. I won't even start to cry before you say goodbye. I tried to say I love you, but the words got in the way. Your heart has always been an open door, but baby, I don't even know you anymore. And despite the fact you're hurting me, I know the time has come to set you free. But the words get in the way. There's so much I want to say, but it's locked deep inside. And if you look in my eyes, we might fall in I tried to say I love you, but the words got in the way. I'm trying to say I love you, but the words get in the way. Thank you.
Thank you. If you can see me now, the one who said that he'd rather roam, the one who said he'd rather be alone. If you could only see me now,
If I could hold you now, just for a moment, if I could make you mine, just for a while, turn back the hands of time. If I could only hold you now. I've been too long in the wind, too long in the rain, taking any comfort that I can, looking back and longing for the freedom of my chains, lying in your loving arms again. If you could hear me now, singing somewhere through the lonely night, dreaming of the arms that held you tight. If you could only hear me now.
I've been
Too long in the wind, too long in the rain, taking any comfort that I can, looking back and longing for the freedom of my chains, lying in your loving arms again. I've been too long in the wind, too long in the rain, taking any comfort that I can, looking back and longing for the freedom of my chains, lying in your loving arms again. Lying in your loving arms again. Lying in your loving arms again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill and Cheryl. That was just wonderful. Hello, I'm the church lady, and this is Church Chat. This evening, we're going to have a lovely gospel group sing for us. They call themselves the Bridgewater Gospel Birds. They're going to sing for you tonight. Turn on your radio and the Heavenly Aeroplane. Now, please join me in welcoming Miss Betty, Colleen, Cynthia, Jim, and Warren.
Now, we are, can we have a sound level check here? We all said? We are only going to sing one song here. I'm afraid the Heavenly Airplane isn't going to fly tonight, but we are going to sing, we do have a message for everybody, and that's turn your radio on.
Baseball season again, and this evening we have Danny Gazale, he's a third grade student at the Roselle McDonald School in West Bridgewater, and he's going to be dancing his own dance routine to the song Center Field. Please join me in welcoming Danny Gazale. Danny? you very much, Danny. That was very good. Okay, our next performer is Chris Kazmarek. He comes to us all the way from Texas, but he's no stranger to our variety show. He has entertained us before with his country, western, and folk music. Tonight he'll be singing Della and the Dealer and Put Another Log on the Fire. Please welcome Kaz.
Can't beat this service. The nerves, the nerves. Well, it was Della and a dealer and a dog named Jake and a cat named Kalamazoo. Left the city in a pickup truck, gonna make some dreams come true. Well, they rolled out west where the wild sun sets and the coyotes bathe the moon. Della and a dealer and a dog named Jake and a cat named Kalamazoo. Well, the dealer was a killer, he was evil and mean, and he was jealous of the fire in her eyes. So he snorted some coke through a century note, and he swore that Boone would die. Well, the stage was set when the lights went out. There was a death in Tucson town. Two shadows ran from the bar back door. One stayed on the ground. Well, down Tucson way, there's a small cafe where they play a little cowboy tune. And the guitar picker was a friend of mine by the name of Randy Boone. Well, Randy played her a sweet love song, and Della got a fire in her eyes. The dealer had a knife, and the dog had a gun, and the cat had a shot of rye. If that cat could talk, what tales he'd tell about Della and the dealer and the dog as well. But the cat was cool, and he never said a mumbling word. Well, two bodies ran from the bar back door, and a dog and a cat ran too. And the tires got hot on the pickup truck as down the road they flew. It was Della and her lover and a dog named Jake and a cat named Kalamazoo. Left the city in a pickup truck, gonna make some dreams come true. Yeah, yeah. If that cat could talk, what tales he'd tell about Della and the dealer and the dog as well. But the cat was cool and he never said a mumbling word. If that cat could talk, what tales he'd tell about Della and the dealer and the dog as well. But the cat was cool and he never said a mumbling word. Put another log on the fire, babe. something to the song, too. Don't I take her driving Friday nights? Well, ain't I gonna take you a fishing with me someday? And a man couldn't love a woman more than that. Come on, baby, you can fill my pipe, then go fetch my slippers. Pour me up another pot of tea, and then put another log on the fire, babe, and come and tell me why you're leaving me. Then come and tell me why you're leaving me. Thank you.
Now calm yourselves. You ain't seen nothing yet. I'm not quite sure who I am anymore. I did want to just take an opportunity to mention some of the lovely fashions you'll see here this evening on me and some of the other people were found at Hidden Treasure right here in Bridgewater and also at the Salvation Army, and we did visit a few local church rummage sales. So we got a really nice wardrobe this evening. Thank you. This dress cost $1. Those of you who have attended our previous variety shows or have heard the United Brass Quintet play surely will agree with me when I describe this next man's music as elegant. We're going to have Ted Haynes play a trumpet solo, Carnival of Venice, and Trumpeter's Lullaby. Please welcome Ted Haynes. Thank you very much, Ted. That was beautiful as always. Next, I'd like to take just an opportunity to introduce Gardner Gibson to you. She's going to give us a little background on our restoration project. She's spent countless hours researching and consulting with restoration experts and craftspeople, and she's going to tell you a little bit about that. Gardner?
Good evening, and welcome to this old church. My historically correct outfit this evening corresponds to the correct stage in the restoration process. The characters in our enterprise include Betty Gilson, Director of Finance, our client, the First Parish, represented this evening by Luella Mann, our chairman, and Charlie Flagg, the docent of the third floor attic, and also our minister. But the main star of the show sits a few miles down the road, our meeting house, the First Parish Unitarian Universalist of Bridgewater. The church was built in 1845 in a very popular style of the day, Greek Revival. Some say Greek Revival was popular because it symbolized beliefs in free speech and democracy, beliefs very much in keeping with the people who met there. But ideologies weren't the only forces that shaped our meeting house. The walls of our meeting house would tell you that Hurricane Gloria came and went. She was a pretty loose woman. As anyone who has been in our church the last couple of years can testify, we lost some cornice molding, indirectly because of her. Our restoration project began with the Society for the Preservation of New England Antiquities, and a general restoration plan outline was given. Fundraising projects were held. That's why this is the third annual variety show, and we've completed 2 projects. Last summer, the cornice molding was restored, the remaining cornice molding repaired, and the center medallion secured. As painful as it is for any of us to admit, sags do come with age. And because of her advanced age, our organ loft had acquired a definite sag. In her defense, it must be noted that the original plans for the meeting house called for columns under the organ loft. We don't know why the columns weren't installed, but when the building was built, the columns weren't installed. So last summer, we completed that project. Nice, strong columns from the cellar floor right up through the meeting house floor, resting as supports for the organ loft. We've all come and become quite fond of our organist, Vahe Marganian, and we added a brass rail so that he wouldn't join the congregation from on high. The Bach lovers should always remain in elevated positions. The necessities are done. Our star is on our feet, but we have major projects before us. The first one has to do with another hurricane, this one by the name of Carol. She claimed our Christopher Wren style steeple in 1954, causing damage to the plastered ceiling below. Acoustical tile was installed. Acoustical tile is not Greek Revival. Restoration specialists agreed that installing sheetrock over the existing acoustical tile ceiling would be appropriate, so we're accepting bids for the ceiling. Project 2, we have our original windows with the original glass, but the old glass rattles in the wind, and we need to repair the sashes and reglaze the glass. Project 3, our historical records tell us that during the summer of 1871, our church was closed for 2 months for refurnishing and frescoing. A small sample of that fresco work has been preserved on a rear wall. We've engaged a consultant that tells us that this fresco work is one of the finest examples in southeastern Massachusetts and probably beyond. Although the frescoes were not part of the original construction, from old photos, plus the very subtle outlines which are somehow beginning to appear on the walls, we see designs of a very definite Greek key influence. Ideally, what we should do is remove those very few surface layers of paint and preserve that 1871 fresco work. At this point, cost has not been determined, but it will be costly. Like many others, I have a dream. It goes beyond the responsibility I feel we have to restore and preserve the First Parish, one of the most historically significant buildings in Bridgewater. My dream is to not have to wear my husband's and my son's clothing in too many more variety shows. Unlike this old house, this old church is not supported by Owens Corning. I'm leaving a basket by the door marked Restoration. Any contributions you leave will be used directly for our church restoration and not for the restoration of any performers that you may see here this evening. In order for the fine programming you are enjoying this evening to continue, we need your support. Come next year. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you very much, Gardner. You told me some things that I hadn't known before, too. I wonder what she meant about sagging with age. Well, anyway, our next performer has appeared in minstrel shows and just loves to sing. Tonight she's going to be singing for us, Wind Beneath My Wings, Robin Kent.
I was the one with all the glory.
sorry this is the same dress again, but I paid a whole $1. I got to get a little more mileage out of it. Okay, our next performer is Cynthia Flagg. She's a woman of great faith. She never gives up hope. She's going to sing for us this evening, Someday My Prince Will Come. Cynthia?
Waiting
Actually, Cynthia has already found her prince, but who cares, right? The prince or frog or whatever he was there was played by Jim Moore. Would somebody try to catch that frog before Cynthia gets warts? All right, our next performer is a 4th grade student at the Williams Elementary School here in Bridgewater. His name is Ethan Mantelos, and he's going to sing for us now, The Times of Your Life. Please welcome Ethan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ethan. That was lovely. Now for a little change of pace. Our next performer is a master's candidate at Bridgewater State College and is a published poet. He'll read some of his own original poetry and a few selections from other poets. It's a pleasure to introduce Winston Bolton.
I think I need a chair. I think I better sit down.
Yeah, that would. Sorry. Well, this is not so much an act as it is a reading. And for that matter, it isn't really a performance, but it is a reading. Robert Bly says no one understands what a poetry reading is anyway. So that's a good start. I went to see him the other night, and having seen him, I wrote a quick poem right at the reading, which was out at Stone College in Franklin. I don't know as it connects with anything that he did. A little poem. Be careful. Your driveway can hurt you, and that house waiting for you in there is no safer. The stairs are slippery, and the basement leaks. The theme of his reading was limitations, and as he was reading, I noticed there was a balloon in the room, which was rather large and tall and high ceiling. This is a poem I wrote about that. All the while he spoke, a heart-shaped balloon danced high in one corner of the room. No one saw it. No one said a thing. And all the while he spoke of dervishes whirling and the slow coming of snow to a farm in Minnesota. It rose and fell and turned, giving us first its silver side, then its green. He read a couple poems by Rumi, I believe a 15th century Persian poet, whom he particularly likes. He's done a lot of translation of Rumi. I'll read a couple of them. When you're loving a woman, you're practicing loving God. Do not take it too seriously. When you're with me, I can't get to sleep. And when you're not here, I stay up all night. Thank God for these two insomnias and the difference between them. And now some love poems that I wrote recently, well, over a period of the last 8 months or so, are going to constitute a set, I hope. And these are written on the theme of a courtly love. This is not a love which will be consummated in any respect, but it's a love which goes back to that Provençal, southern France, courtly love period in the kings and queens days, I think of it. I don't know what particular historical event was connected with, other than it was a development of what we call romantic love today. Romantic love is a devolution of that, a corruption, if you will. And women started it. They tried to take some of the bestiality out of romance, which really wasn't much more than a bestial act at the time. You are so beautiful that when I am alone, I am not alone. And when I am with you, I am alone. This is called a reed singing. Each time we sit at your piano, we almost touch. Only our voices touch, and they are bodiless. An urgent rise of tones that are ours and not ours. I wrote this today, and it hasn't much to do with the foregoing. It's imagined relationship between a Castilian, that is a northern Spanish gentleman, and his mistress, who quite obviously comes from the south of Spain. A Castilian to his mistress. She writes often and says nothing, but I love her. She is like summer, which comes but once a year, and always in the same robes, but is always new. No invention of man could render her, flat and still, saying nothing, nothing. She lives in her speech, and although her speech says nothing, it says all. When she gets going, she is like a bird, yes, a large bird, and she sings rather than speaks, and I listen, and I go under. And if you've heard a Spanish lady speak of that breeding, she does sing. Her speech is a song. Another one on my theme of courtly love, dying among blueberries. The little girl at the blueberry stand sends us down back to start our picking. Although the powder blue ones, the big juicy ones, are in the bushes up front. Our yellow plastic pails are voluminously empty. Each berry dropped in sounds with the beat of an errant drum. You ask me to sing to you, but I cannot remember the lyrics to even one song. We investigate 3 honeybees on a pink flower. For you, this is just a fun afternoon. But I am stung, lady, and I am dying among blueberries. This is a change of pace. It's called The Wreck. And I wrote it for George Sitharis, who was with me at the time. He's the person that was with me in the poem. This happened in Marshfield. And it's about a boat, a ruined boat. Its hulk has settled down among mud and grasses. A large boat once, now up the creek in a backwater marsh. It is all holes and rot and separation. We walked its deck, then jumped back to the bank and looked for clams in the tidal flats. In Sylvia's Seaflower, we saw a photo of it, lying bright and smashed in the full sun. Love that, love it, love it. Here's another one about a ship that I wrote when I was 20 years younger. I was taken much by bossa nova, which came out of Brazil. Jazz bossa nova, married the southern rhythms with those of New York jazz. And I was much taken by Louis Bonfant's guitar work and the songs by Antonio Carlos Jobim and others. I think of a white ship sailing, a cloud over eye blue water, a dream crossing the face of sleep. Southward to Rio, an ocean liner, people made beautiful by navigating charts. There will be acres of honey gold decks, everywhere bright work and flags. Startlingly white day will hurt the eyes, all those colors flying. At night we shall see the stars grow unfamiliar. We shall see them grow serious and large and still. The ladies will wear chignons at dinner. No one will talk too loudly. No one will cough. The sound of the sea is within, its sight and its smell. I think of a white ship sailing southward to Rio, southward to Brazil. Well, I'm going to read a little of Fern Hill. I don't believe I have time for all of it. This is a poem by Dylan Thomas, which I love, and it's a spring poem. Fern Hill was a place which he lived at in the summer. It might have been one of his relatives. He was a young boy, probably 9 or 10, and these experiences are based on that in Wales, of course. Now as I was young and easy under the apple boughs about the lilting house, and happy as the grass was green, the night above the dingle starry, time let me hail and climb, golden in the heydays of his eyes. And on it among wagons I was prince of the apple towns, and once below a time I lordly had the trees and leaves trail with daisies and barley, down the rivers of the windfall light. And as I was green and carefree, famous among the barns about the happy yard, and singing as the farm was home, in the sun that is young once only, time let me play and be golden in the mercy of his means. And green and golden I was huntsman and herdsman, the calves sang to my horn, the foxes on the hills barked clear and cold, and the Sabbath rang slowly in the pebbles of the holy streams. All the sun long it was running, it was lovely, the hayfields high as the house, the tunes from the chimneys, it was air and playing, lovely and watery, and fire green as grass. And nightly under the simple stars, as I rode to sleep, the owls were bearing the farm away. All the moon long I heard, blessed among stables, the night jars flying with the ricks, and the horses flashing into the dark. And then to awake in the farm like a wanderer white with the dew come back, the cock on his shoulder. It was all shining. It was Adam and Maiden. The sky gathered again, and the sun grew round that very day. So it must have been after the birth of the simple light and the first spinning place. The spellbound horses walking warm out of the whinnying green stable onto the fields of praise. And honoured among foxes and pheasants by the gay house, under the new-made clouds, and happy as the heart was long, in the sun born over and over, I ran my heedless ways. My wishes raced through the house-high hay, and nothing I cared at my sky-blue trades that time allows in all his tuneful turning, so few and such morning songs before the children, green and golden, follow him out of grace. Nothing I cared in the lamb-white days that time would take me up to the swallow-thronged loft by the shadow of my hand in the moon that is always rising. Nor that riding to sleep I should hear him fly with the high fields and wake to the farm forever fled from the childless land. Oh, as I was young and easy in the mercy of his means, time held me green and dying, though I sang in my chains like the sea. Dylan Thomas. Thank you very much. Shall I take this?
Okay, the policeman was Katie Moore, And the cleaner-upper was Michelle Dempsey. And the invisible dog played himself. Okay, our next act this evening, backed by popular demand, is our male bonding band. This year with Jim Donnelly, Tom St. Thomas, John Dye, and Ian Geddes. This group has become a big favorite at our variety shows. And tonight they're going to sing Down on the Bayou, and they're going to play Old Joe Clark. Please welcome the male bonding band.
Thank you. Yeah, great. Hi. How are you? Hi, you guys. I'm going to tune up a little. Mother uses tape. It's clean. It's clean. Me and you? We need this one.
That's all we got. You two are going to get over there.
We're going down here.
And pull it up close to you, fairly close. Check. Pull it down towards your guitar maybe a little bit. So halfway, so you get both. Okay. Yep.
Ian, you got to come over here now.
I got that. Okay, that was, we hearing here? That was Old Joe Clark, and this is John Dye. Beg your pardon. This is John Dye, and he was playing the Appalachian dulcimer, and take a bow there, guys. And this next dulcimer he made, and it's called a double dulcimer. You might want to hold it up, John. It's made for playing knee to knee. Two people can actually strum this thing, but there's only going to be one here playing it right now. And we're going to take you to Cajun country, and this is a Hank Williams tune, On the Bayou. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1. Me gotta go, me oh my oh. Me gotta go pull the road down the bottle. My Yvonne, the sweetest one, me oh my oh. Oh, son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bottle. Jambalaya and a crawfish pie and a filet gumbo. For tonight I'm gonna see my Michelle amigo. A big guitar, a fill fruit jar, and be gay ho. Oh, son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the Bible. Thibodeau's, the fountain knows the place is buzzing. The kinfolk come to see him fun by the dozen. The dressing in style and go hog wild, me oh my ho. Oh, son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya and a crawfish pie and a filet gumbo. For tonight I'm going to see my Michelle amigo. A big guitar, a fill fruit jar, and be gay ho. A son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the Bible. Settle down, far from town, get me a pirogue, and I'll catch all the fish in the bottle. I'll swap my money to buy Yvonne what she need, oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bottle. Jambalaya, crawfish pie, filet gumbo. For tonight I'm going to see my Michelle amigo. A big guitar, a fill fruit jar, and Diego. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right.
I bet you were expecting a Cajun queen, weren't you? My mother's here tonight. I want to make a special announcement now, just to thank our 3 sound technicians, Jim Donnelly, Bill Davis, and Charlie Flagg. These are the 3 men that turn us on all night. Now we're going to take a break. We'll have an intermission, maybe 15 minutes or so, and there are refreshments up back on the table, and we have Dawn and Dawn at the bar willing to serve you, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes. We hope you'll stick around because we got a lot more fun in the second half of the show. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you ready to begin again? Did everyone enjoy the refreshments? Applaud if you did. Good. I think it would be very important at this point to make a special thank you to our refreshment committee and the decorating committee. I think they did a beautiful job. Okay, we're going to start the second half of our show. My mother finally got the courage to come here this year, and this next act could very well be her Maylocks moment. We've had a male bonding band at our variety show each year, and this year it seemed only fitting and proper that we have a female bonding band. This next dazzling group is surely destined for stardom. They know exactly what they want, and they're about to tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bondettes. So now you've seen the Bondettes. Okay, our next act, we have two sixth-grade students at the Burnell School here in Bridgewater. They've choreographed their own dance routine, and they're going to dance to Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation, Amelia Dallin and Kerry Roderick.
We are a nation called to
Okay, okay, I've spent, over the past few months, I've spent some time trying to find myself, and what was interesting is every time I managed to find myself, I was next to the refrigerator. And that started me thinking. It seemed as though there might be some connection between that and my constant weight problem. Well, let's get started, get back to the show. Our next performer is Bill Davis. I can't read without my glasses. They didn't fit under this thing. All right. He's a man whose name will probably be recognized by most of you who are folk music lovers, and he has performed at the First Parish Coffee House off the Common. Please join me in welcoming Bill Davis.
Well, as I was giving out my gift to all of you, people were saying, how do you use this thing? Well, you put it in the mouth, the fat end in your mouth, and you just go, Now let me see everybody. One more time. And they say little things, amuse little minds, but anyways, we're going to do a sing-along, whether you like it or not. The only thing that I've found out is giving out kazoos, that you run the risk that the crowd will turn against you. So we're going to start off with something I hope all of you know, and you'll know where to come in.
Everybody saying, I'm walking in the rain, tears are falling and I feel the pain, wishing you were here by me to end this misery, and I wonder, she ran away, and I wonder where she will stay. My little runaway, run, 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 run away, run, 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 run away. Everybody else, run, 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 run away. Just because I stopped didn't mean you had to. Thank you, thank you. Now that you're all warmed up, this next song is a song I wrote. In fact, I think I did it last time I was here. It was the song of desperation. I hadn't bought my wife a Christmas present, Other people say that I was too cheap, so I wrote a song. So this time we're going to separate the room up into whichever halves want to be whichever halves they want to be. And those of you who want to sing high will sing the high part. Those of you who want to sing low can sing the low part. Now the high part, your part, goes like this. Everybody. And those of you with the low voices can go. You got that now? Well, the name of the song is called Gushy Goo because it seemed appropriate. Now you'll find, woo, come hold me close again tonight. Hold me until the break of light. I could go on and right on through the night about you. Some say I'm passing through a phase, dressing up in a masquerade. If there was anyone who I seemed to evade, it was you. Thank you for giving me all the life that's in your heart, music that you bring my way. Thank you for giving me a future in my life. It's you I look for in a wife. So as I write this gushy goo, please don't you winkle misconstrue. You know exactly what it is I'm trying to say. I love you. Yes, I do. I love you. I love you. Yeah, you. Everybody hold it.
Okay, thank you very much, Bill. Something wonderful has happened. This dress fits me. It's even zipped all the way up in the back. 2 weeks ago, I couldn't do that. Thank you. 15 pounds. Not in 2 weeks, but 15 pounds over a period of time. Something else wonderful is about to happen. We're going to have Betty Gilson sing Something Wonderful from The King and I.
This is a man who thinks with his heart. His heart is not always wise. This is a man who stumbles and falls, but this is a man who tries. This is a man you'll forgive and forgive and help and protect as long as you but now and then he'll say something wonderful. The thoughtless things he'll do will hurt and worry you. Then all at once he'll do something wonderful. He has 1,000 dreams that won't come true. You know that he believes in them, and that's enough for you. You'll always go along, defend him when he's wrong, and tell him when he's strong. He is wonderful. He'll always need your love, and so he'll get your love. A man who needs your love can be wonderful.
That was lovely, Betty. Thank you very much. You know, backstage, I miss a lot of the show, but I can hear it, and I'm clapping along with all of you. As a matter of fact, my hands get so tired from clapping that I've decided to use this. Our next performer was to have been Sylvia Brenner, and we just heard from her last night that Sylvia is quite sick and can't sing for us tonight. But I'm sure you'll all join me in wishing her a very speedy recovery and hope that she'll be back with us next year. Thank you. You saw Jim Moore earlier as the Frog Prince, or the Prince Frog, whatever. I brought this along just in case. Those of you who have attended our other shows know enough to expect the unexpected from Jim. Jim's goal is to play the skull of Yorick in Hamlet. Well, good luck, Jim. I think you'd be just perfect. Tonight, Jim will do a recitation of tragic comic vignettes from Hamlet, Faust, Streetcar Named Desire, to mention a few. Here once again is Jim Moore, first as Prince Hamlet, the Melancholy Dane.
Trust me, it's gonna work. Trust me. You know, I decided I want to do a different order. I want to do A Streetcar Named Desire first. Stella! Stella! always depended upon the I have always depended upon the kindness of strangers. I was going to do Faust, but I couldn't find something suitably dramatic from it for a short vignette. So, and it was much too far above my budget to get the demons and stuff coming out to drag him down into, you know, hot stuff. So, let me go straight on to my pièce de résistance, Hamlet. Now, you know, I've made a study of Hamlet, and I feel that the soliloquies in Hamlet were designed to cover stage movings. You know, they were changing the scenes. And so Hamlet had to play to the pit. These people down there that were more like the bears that they were competing with, you know, and the bear pit was competing with the Globe Theatre, and so they sometimes sent the bears over as merchants to be in the pit and throw things at the actors. So he had to tame the pit. So he would come out, and he was not really the melancholic Dane, he was a sexual being. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep, and by sleep to say we end the heartaches and the thousand natural shocks. That flesh is heir to, 'tis the consummation, devoutly to be wished. Now, you know, you have to stop right here. There is a pun in there. You see, dying was equated with sexual climax at that time. And so if you reread that particular piece, it says a few extra things. To die, to sleep no more. Can you imagine not being able to fall asleep because you're constantly dying? Well, never mind. Where was I? Oh, what the heck. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the swings and arrows about... I can't remember this. Marriage. Marriage is such a wonderful institution. No, that's the wrong one. That's the Princess Bride. Where was it? Oh well. Let me cut to the chase. You see, he's all through with this soliloquy, and he's got these people's attention down here, so they're stopping, you know, beating on each other and throwing things on the stage. And finally, Ophelia comes on, and he says, "Soft you know, the fair Ophelia approaches. Nymph, and I arise, and may all my sins be remembered." Soft you know, the fair Ophelia approaches. I guess it wasn't that funny. Well, at any rate, I've had a lot of fun with this, and I think I'm going to sweat into a size 4 if I don't get out of this costume. So, thank you very much. It was very nice. Bye-bye.
Okay, our next performer has reached an understanding with the frog. So Cynthia's ready to perform again for us, and she's going to sing Secondhand Rose. Wonder what she means by that. I mean, after she found out I bought my wardrobe at the Salvation Army, I think that was a dirty dig. But what the heck, let's welcome Cynthia back.
directly second hand. Everything from toothpicks to a baby grand. Stuff in our apartment came from father's store. Even things I'm wearing, someone wore before. It's no wonder that I feel abused. I never have a thing that ain't been used. I'm wearing second-hand hats, second-hand clothes. That's why they call me second-hand Rose. Even the piano in the parlor, bothered but the 10 cents on the dollar. Second-hand coils, I'm wearing second-hand coils. I never get a single thing that's new. Even Chuck the preacher, he's the guy I adore, had the nerve to tell me he's been married before. Everyone knows that I'm just second-hand Rose from Second Avenue. Each one in the family kicks the whole day long. Everyone's disgusted. Everything is wrong. Second-handed doggy, second-handed cat, second-handed welcome, second-handed mat. I think Father's head is made of wood. He brings home lots of things that ain't no good. I'm wearing second-hand shoes, second-hand hose. All the girls hand me their second-hand bows. Even my pajamas, when I don, have somebody else's initials on them. Second-hand rings, I'm sick of second-hand things. I really want another thing that's true. Once while strolling through the Ritz, a gunk of my goat, she nudged a friend and said, "Hey, look, there's my old fur coat." Everyone knows that I'm just second-hand Rose from Second
Thank you, Cynthia. I'm glad you worked things out with the frog. What a country this is. Where else but in America could a simple, shy, reserved person like me get up on stage and do all these ridiculous things, and then tomorrow morning go right back to being me, if I can figure out who that is after all this. I'd like to take a moment to thank Nancy Donnelly for her dedicated musical assistance this evening. She's not there. Okay, our next performers are going to be a Dixieland band. I'm not sure where they are. Are they over there? I can't, the lights in my eyes. All right, are you ready?
Ready.
Well, we're ready. This is going to be Doc's Backroom Gang. It's a lively Dixieland band. They played amateur and professionally, and tonight they're going to be joined by vocalist Denny Edlund. Let's welcome Doc's Backroom Gang.
Anybody got a name?
Vocalist is going to be where?
The vocalist can be right here. The vocalist will be right here. I'd like to introduce the band while they're filtering in. Most of these people have been collecting in the back room of my office in Rockland, and we have quite an assemblage. This is an idea that's about 5 or 6 years old, and the fellow who originally was going to be the leader and host the band was a man named Charlie Gill of Abington, but I became the host. And on clarinet we have Brockton's own Jimmy Ferranti. On trombone we have my good buddy of the baritone, horn, and the trombone, George Marquardt of Abington. Running towards the bar for an emergency trip of North Weymouth, Larry Connors on trumpet. Master of the lip trill. On drums we have from Weymouth, Dick Ambrosia. On tuba we have Leo Alexander of Rockland. And I think I'm one of my mother's favorite sons, but she only had 2, so I must be one. And this is my prize daughter, the star of stage, screen, basketball court, and the soccer fields, Denny. We're going to open up the program by doing 2 vocal numbers featuring Denny because my other children have to do an errand, so we're going to have to leave soon. I still haven't given everybody their music. George, can you play it by ear tonight? Have your music? Why don't you guys divide those up with the bass?
Let me move.
I'm still hoarse from doing that. Boom, 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 boom. Bass and street.
So Dad, just give me another one.
Bass and street. You have your music? Just in case, you know, I have memory lapses too. Where's the car? Okay, everybody in position? Call it out. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready.